everybody, I hope you're doing well. Welcome back to another video. Because I'm trying to do Bookmas and upload a video every single day, but I haven't actually read anything this month yet, just haven't been feeling the best. But I had an idea. I thought I would film a little review of Babel, which is a book I read in November, at the end of November, and I just wanted to just talk about like the book, the plot, like my like personal like favorite parts. I did write, like, I know this is probably not going to show up that well, but I did write quite a long review on like my Goodreads and StoryGraph, and I thought I would just read it out and expand on a few things and just share my thoughts because I really loved it. Okay, first thing I want to say is thank you so much to NetGalley. I'll leave a link in the description below to NetGalley if anyone wants to like sign up and possibly use their services. But basically it's where you can request to have like pre-publication ebooks and audiobooks from like different, like those different genres and stuff. So I was kindly given a audiobook version of Babel. Let me tell you, it's by R.F Kuang. It's called Babel, an Arcane History of an Arcane History. And the audiobook version, I was quickly saying the narrators, was Chris Liu Cumhoy and Billy Fulford Brown, by HarperCollins UK Audio. So thank you so much to NetGalley for accepting me as a reviewer. I ended up giving it 5 stars. I really loved it, so I thought I'd just talk about it because why not? So real quick plot summary, as I don't want to spoil anything and I have a lot to say. I do. Robin, which is the name he chooses after, it's not his original Chinese name, is living in Canton, which is present-day Guangzhou in China. He is taken, not by force, by Professor Lovell, where he is lifted from poverty but has to agree to dedicate all his time and passion to the art of translation and language learning. This is so he can get into Oxford's prestigious Royal Institute of Translation, which he does, which he later finds is the mechanism for which the British Empire is upheld, like it's the foundation. He learns the ways of Babel, and the British is using the output of scholarly research. What will he do? Will he betray his homeland and stay living in luxury, or revolt? You'll have to see, because I don't want to like talk about that stuff because like that's integral to the actual like twist and stuff in the storyline. But that is sort of like just like a very basic plot line, and yeah, it is. Yeah, I love it. So I first of all, I said I was slightly torn on how to like rate and review it, but I didn't really know why, because I know why, because I started with my one qualm, but then I still ended up giving it 5 stars. Is that there was a certain, and then subsequently other things from that event that I didn't really like, that I didn't really think made that much sense at the time, of what you like would have thought or hoped would happen. But the reasoning is later expressed, but like it did sort of annoy me. But that's what I'm going to say. It was a little qualm. Now the good, and oh my, is there a lot. There is no way you can doubt Kuang's intellect, knowledge and talent, because Babel is truly a masterpiece in terms of writing the facts, references, character analysis and building, relationships, settings, emotions. Everything, in my opinion, is brilliant. So good. Clearly so much dedication, passion and general understanding on the topics presented in this book are of utmost importance to writing this. Despite being rather long with some repetition, I don't feel any part was particularly unnecessary, and I thoroughly enjoyed getting to know these characters, the setting and the inner turmoil and emotions. I wanted to read / listen all day long, and I was hooked, but also like I was scared to let them go. Like I was like so like I just want to take it all in. I just want to continue reading, like listen, because I'm just so engrossed and I love it. But I'm also like, I don't want to leave the characters because I love them as well. um, so yeah. Kuang's craft is lovely to experience on many topics mentioned above, but oh my, the way she presents the idea of language, etymology and translation is outstanding. It is so good. It's long and does drag one in part, but the passion for the art of translation and beauty of languages shines through the lectures and discussions that the characters have. There are many exceptionally penned phrases, but it is my favourite, said by Robin right near the end. It's not a spoiler. And by the way, quotes. Language was just difference. 1,000 different ways of seeing, of moving through the world. No, 1,000 worlds within one. So good. The explanation of these themes is nuanced with the various characters' approaches, but also an admiration of language. So they all have different views, but they all sort of like love language. And being a topic I know rather little about, I felt like I was being taught as well, and I fully engaged. I fully enjoyed it. Great. You had me. Onto the characters now. I honestly care for them so much. For sure there is a lot of the plot, but wow, the character analysis portrayed is so damn good. They are nuanced, but for the most part lovable, where the ones we're supposed to are. And you get to see each of their perspectives. I'm talking about the many peripheral ones, as well as the four mainish ones. Robin, the main character, Remy, Victoire and Letty. And the reasons for why they act a certain way. You can understand them despite not agreeing, and I don't think I was left wondering about anything at the end. Like I was all like, I understood their POVs and why they did things and stuff. Like it did, like it was done to completion. And RMFG, just wow. The relationship and friendship between the four is so beautiful to witness. The found family aspect is just perfection, something I really, really love in books. Like a trope is just like top tier. I loved every part of it and ate it up. They all face discrimination and question their places at Babel/Oxford, feeling a sense of not being worthy and like imposter syndrome and like lots of other things. They needed each other, and whilst those bonds were strained at times, it is normal in a day to see this. It was just so fulfilling to see their growth and friendship blossom. It was so good. That I think was probably my favourite part of the book. And then it was like the talk about like the passion of language, because like just the friendships were just it was just so good, and they just had such like a lovely like bond, and it was I loved it. If you can't tell, I loved it. Now this was my first real fantasy-ish book, like a proper like fantasy kind of, but like a long one, not just like a little like children's book version. I've read, I think, and to my astonishment I thoroughly enjoyed the fantastical/magical aspects. Babel is really a multi-genre work, including historical fiction, dystopia/speculative fiction brackets, but more like speculative historical fiction, not like other dis/utopia set in the future. I don't know how to describe it, but it's all new to me. Fantasy, magical realism, dark academia. That part was, I loved it. I'm like, I want to read more dark academia books now because of this book, among others. And when it comes to the magical element, using silver bars engraved with different translations to invoke the manifestation of the difference between the translations. I'm not explaining it well at all, by the way, sorry, but it does sound interesting, doesn't it? I'd recommend giving it a read. And whilst I didn't fully get it to begin with, later on it did somewhat make perfect sense, and I totally got on board and was like literally fascinated with like the various uses, how they work, and just like the way like characters was like thinking of the different like translations and different things. Were just like, oh my god, it's literally clicking. It's like this, like, even though it's like not real, it was so good. So I'm like, am I a fantasy reader now? No, I don't think I am. But I will definitely be dipping into more different genres that I sort of like thought I wasn't gonna read anyway. Okay, I'm nearly at the end of my review. Touching on what I first said about Kuang's immense knowledge, this again shines through on the topic of colonialism. And whilst this part and the related racist rhetoric is a trigger warning, it does really well to put forward the argument for/against and the attitudes of a few caught up in colonialism. They add to the sympathetic feelings one has for Robin, Remy and Victoire, and I honestly learned a lot and just got angry at how such atrocities could have happened. And despite being fiction, there is a huge basis on real life events and political issues at the time, set in like the 1800s, like British Empire sort of growth and things. These are threaded in exceptionally well and really add to the trueness of the story, because we are supposed to be reading it as like a history of a revolution, sort of. Again, I'm not like explaining it that well, but like I'm giving praise and wait, what? So about explaining it, basically I'm giving praise, and without the magic bars, this could easily have been an account of a real event. Yeah, so like if there wasn't the fantastical like element, like it literally does read like someone like history or something. Like it was so good. The idea of colonialism and how Robin and others tries to reconcile the privileges they have been given by Oxford and in Britain, away from the typical squalor and poverty of their homelands, with the actions Britain's empire is doing to its colonies and other lands. It's an inner turmoil, and again, this is so well presented. I didn't say this here, but it also like deals with like misogyny and sort of like sexist rhetorics as well, and like classism and like slavery and like quite a lot of things it touches on, and I feel like they are very well like put forward, like different characters like reason, and it's a well-rounded exploration of certain themes. This is my final part. I think I've covered everything I wanted to say, but it's unlikely because there really is so much one could pick up on in Babel. I did really enjoy this book, and I'm so grateful to HarperCollins and NetGalley for accepting me as a reviewer. The narration was great, with both narrators making the word literally like come to life, with varying accents and tones, really infusing emotion and feeling into the words. So if you're thinking of getting the audiobook, I would totally recommend. I can't fully say the same for the book because I haven't physically read it. But the story as a whole was great, and I would have to nonetheless, like I would like to read it physically maybe one time again. I don't know, I actually think I would want to read this again, not like yet because like it is like quite dense, but like I probably would. So yeah, so thank you. That was the end of my like little review. I don't think there's anything actually I want to say on top. Just how it's really good. Like it is written amazing. The writing is so like sophisticated and so good. It's so like transportive and like detailed, but not like, it's not like flowery, but it's just like it's really good, and like the characters and like the friendships and dialogues and things like that is done exceptional. The like passion for language and translation, and it's sort of like being an art, and how like you can never really like fully translate something because you're either just making it seem like it's in the language you're trying to translate it to, or you've just like, I don't know, but either way you can't really like get the best of both worlds of being true to the actual nature and being easy to understand in the other language. And yeah, I don't really have anything else to say except I really love this book. Thank you to NetGalley, and I hope you enjoyed my review, and I'll see you very soon. Bye bye.